You're listening to American Grit, America's raw and uncensored podcast. My name's Tim Jensen. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, entrepreneur, and co-owner of Grunt Style Apparel. And we're here to talk about all the bullshit mainstream media won't touch with a stick by sharing information that directly impacts our community, our well-being, and our destiny as Americans. All right, everybody, welcome back to another American Grit episode with myself, Tim Jensen. It's been a long time, but I have a great guest with us today, and we're going to talk a little bit about fitness and some of the things that are going on with the United States military today and how we can all be a little bit better, sharper, both mentally and physically in our lives by just putting a little bit of effort into the things that we're doing and focusing on ourselves. So I'd like to welcome to the show my good friend, Travis Wilson.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Glad to see you again.
Again. Last time we met, you were at the Military Influencer Conference. And,
That's right.
We were
Boo-hooing on stage. Yeah.
Which you crushed, man. That was a great, being on the receiving end of your comedy was a lot of fun.
Right. Well, hats off to Jen Manfrey for being my speechwriter, because I write in bullet points, and she's like, buddy, you got to flow this shit together. You write like a Neanderthal. So
yeah. And she is great. She is an incredible writer.
Yeah.
Does great things over We Are the Mighty, and now she's doing bigger things out there in the space.
Yeah.
But talking about big things and what's going on, you are the owner or founder of Alpha Elite Performance.
I am.
And former Special Forces operator yourself.
I am retired. Yes.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your background, why you got into the supplement space in that area of things that we need to be doing for ourselves. We have to focus on ourselves before we can focus on other people. Yeah. Why is that important?
Yeah, absolutely. Why I got into Alpha Elite Performance was really just because I had a near fatal free fall accident and burned in after coming in on final and really thought I was going to get kicked out of the military. So I needed to devise a plan, if you will, and came up with something that I was familiar with supplementation, health and fitness. Went to school for exercise science, which I didn't finish. I ended up quitting. Totally different subject, but we'll probably get into that because being an alpha, we deal with a lot of quitting and not quitting and why quitting's bad. But yeah, so I started Alpha Elite Performance because of a near fatal free fall accident, and it was just kind of like the right time. It was like, hey, Trav, you're gonna start this business and do good things for your community, and I took all commands from the tower, if you will, whomever that may be.
Sure.
Yeah.
And, so walk us a little bit about that, if you don't mind, the accident and where were you at mentally, during all that, right? Because a lot of our listeners are military people, and I'm sure a lot of them have gone through, myself included. It's like, that fear of being kicked out of the only thing that you know.
Yeah, man. I got to tell you, it was scary because the military is what I knew. But I'll back up to leaving that aircraft. We were in Eloy, Arizona, training mission for an upcoming deployment, and as on a free fall team, you always hope that you get that combat jump, and 10th Group does have one, and we were hoping to get another one. But exited the aircraft at night. We were doing a nighttime appreciation is what we like to call it. We had really finalized all our jumps with full wall locker, O2 and all that stuff, night vision goggles. This time we decided to do it old school, slick, no night vision. Just look for the red and green chem lights on the chutes in front of you, on the guys in front of you when you exit. It's black. It's pitch black. You get out there. Everything went well. Me being the heavy drop that I am, I leave the aircraft last usually, and I end up first on the ground. And I was coming on final. I was talking to my guys, a little push talk, and heard a ruffling in the right side of my canopy of my chute, and immediately just started spinning, and an instinct took over. You're taught your emergency procedures, and I started climbing those left risers as if it were a static line parachute, right. Because I had no steer. Too low to cut away. Anything below 500 feet, there's no more turns, and there's no cutting away and deploying to reserve. You're definitely dead at that point. And so I just kind of rode it out. And at Eloy, if you've ever been there, there's a building where we land, a light, and then it's just pitch black off to the left at night. And so I remember the light, dark, and then splat.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and I woke up with lights around me. I woke up with a fentanyl lollipop in my mouth. Fentanyl is crazy good when you are in pain because it started working fast. But I thought I was impaled on something, and I was being told to quit moving, stop. Dudes were there just trying to hold me down. I felt like I had landed on a fence, and it was just sticking through me. That's what I seriously envisioned. And it was something like out of Aliens, because everybody's headlamps are on your face. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
And so anyway, I lived. Didn't have anything impaled in me, and I went to the hospital and lived there for a little bit, and went back to the unit and tried to get back on the teams. And I did. I worked my ass off, and this is where kind of becoming an alpha took over. My whole life, my whole career up to that really was about, I'll admit it, selfishness. I wouldn't say that I was a 100% team player until I had that accident. Yeah. When it came to combat, absolutely, and being a Green Beret, 99% of the time I was a team player, but there was a lot of selfishness within my life at that time. But when I had that accident, it was shit or get off the pot time for a multitude of reasons. And so I worked my ass off to stay on the teams and get in shape and lose the weight that I gained laying around in bed after having back surgery, disc replacement in my back. And I've had a total of 13 surgeries because of that, and probably need a couple more on the hips. But yeah, I made it back on the team for a short period. But in that, I started Alpha Elite Performance. Well, I started Caliber Nutrition, small store selling other people's products, and did that for a couple of years, even while healing up and going back to the teams. They allowed me to stay. Went to a nerd program, agency handshake type program, and anyway, and then started working on my own product line. Met another Marine. Marines and Green Berets go together like coffee in a cup. Met a formulator, and I was like, buddy, I want an endurance recovery product capsule so we can take it out in the field. We don't get to work out all the time, but I don't want to come back emaciated. I want to have energy while I'm out there. Came up with MPERC, Muscle Performance Endurance Recovery Complex, and it rock and rolled, so much so that I was like, well, I'm going to get rid of, Caliber Nutrition and Fitness and start AEP, Alpha Elite Performance and focus on that. And here we are. Been doing that since 2015.
It's fantastic. Fantastic. Now, you speak a little bit about this alpha, right? This idea, the concept of the alpha male, or just the concept of being alpha in everything that you do.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what that means to you. Like, as we are, living in this world where there's male toxicity, there's alpha toxicity, there's all these different things, and, buzzwords and this, that, and the other. But when it comes to just being, what is the idea of alpha to you?
Well, to me, I mean, it means obviously it means to a lot of different people, different things. There's but to me, being an alpha, at one time in my life, it was you were a go-getter, hard charger, and you're going to rock and roll in all that you do, and you're an alpha male, and there's that beta male bitch over there, and he's not going to measure up to you at all. And I kind of agree with I still think like that on occasion, but it depends on the setting, But really, alpha is who are you? I mean, what does it mean to you to do better in your life? And so we try and tell people, I do, to be an alpha is really just moving forward and moving up and doing good, not just for yourself, but for others as well. My son got into an argument or a fight and was protecting a kid that was, obviously smaller, weaker, and what have you. And my son is bigger and stronger and did his defense of that kid who was smaller and weaker. And to me, protecting other people, that's an alpha type thing to do, So the whole toxic masculinity thing, I think, is just a stupid conversation to have because we definitely need masculinity in society. So much of our country wouldn't even exist without masculinity. But yeah, the alpha is just an alpha mindset of just doing good, moving forward, and moving up,
Yeah.
So, and you could be a 400-pound man and think that you're just some beta dude sitting in your basement. But if you get off your ass and get outside and start moving forward, 10 minutes a day, just working out and cleaning up your diet a little bit, it's an alpha mindset. You're starting to do the right thing, And so, I mean, that's really what it means to us. But AEP came from ODA Alpha, Alpha Team, A Team. Yeah. You tend to think that those guys are the elite, the Alpha Team, the best of the best. Well, I mean, you can be the best of your best, and you can keep going and doing better. You know what I mean? So does that make sense?
Yeah. I think it totally makes sense. And we live in this crazy world where we're all being labeled. We're all passing through this prism and these filters of social acceptance. And yada 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 yada. Right. But at the same time, there's a place for everything, right? And what I mean by that is when we talk about these, the pipe hitter, right? We need the pipe hitter. Yeah. We need that guy. Colonel Jessup says, you need me on that wall.
That's what we named our pre-workout, pipe hitter.
Right? But at the same time, it's also having, the wherewithal to understand, as that alpha, as that individual that has the ability to change the temperature of a room, turn the head in a room, or, being mindful of that and knowing that, you exhibit and you wield a lot of power. Right. Yeah, and how do you make that power better and use it for other people? Yeah. And that's what I love about what you're doing and the product that you're bringing forward is, that's the mindset, right? This is the mindset of how do we make ourselves sharper and how do we make ourselves better for the people that are around us? Sure. And, as we look across, the nation right now, we read in the newspapers and wherever you consume your news that the children of today's generation are brittle boned, they're fat, they have no motivation, and these are all stifling recruiting numbers. What can we do as influencers within the community that we talk to kind of change a lot of that, right? Because if we're complacent with raising a generation of people that are not capable of defending themselves first and foremost, how are they going to be able to be in a position to defend others when the time comes, when the next 9/11 happens or whatever, something worse?
Man, we definitely have a war of words with our media in general, and left, right, we know who's saying what. I think with the way that I raise my children, I teach them my views, my ideology, and what I think is right. And I think that in the future, if anything should ever happen, there's going to be a need for those children that were raised, in a toxic masculinity foundation. And it's just it's batshit crazy with what's going on with how our children are being raised. That's just a whole nother conversation in itself. But I'm going to raise my kids the way that I want to raise them, and they're going to learn to love our country. They're going to learn to love God. They're going to learn to love guns, and they're going to respect women, and they're going to respect society, regardless of who they are. If they have a friend that's gay, there's this big thing with gay and trans and all that. Respect the person. Right. You don't always have to believe in their beliefs and what they believe in, but respect the person and treat them respectfully and with dignity, and move on, or, continue to be their friend. But that's the way that I'm going to raise my children. And I feel like it's working because I got really good kids, and they respect everybody. Yeah. So,
and that's a key point there is the respect factor, right?
It's massive. It's huge. Yeah. And I think we've walked away from that. Yeah. Out of everything, either walking away from religion in schools and prayer and all that, or, the love of country, respect is huge. Yeah. If you can teach that and get it across to your children, it's going to go a lot further than all the rest of it, I think. Right.
That's the path of becoming an alpha, just in general. Absolutely. Is being, again, mindful and having respect for others. Absolutely. And lifting up, right?
Yeah, totally.
And I find that rather interesting because if you would ask 25-year-old Tim any of this shit, I'd be like, fuck you, man.
Oh, totally, man.
I don't give a shit about any of that. Let's go kick down doors, right?
Yeah, if I could change everything. Yeah, there was the 20s where I was just a prick. Where then I probably said I was an alpha male and in
all the wrong ways.
Yeah, it's embarrassing to even think about. Yeah, so Lord have mercy. But it took an accident for me to really to finally fix my shit.
Yeah, and that's generally the the trend that I've seen and the conversations that I've had, and to
Yeah.
include myself, is there's a significant event that happens in someone's life that puts them on a new path.
Yeah.
And that path of enlightenment is has illuminating factors across all aspects of their life. But going back to fitness in general, and where we are today as a country is in making sure that we're feeding and having a good pipeline for the youth of America to get into the armed forces. Where do you think the armed forces are today in terms of their fitness and readiness?
Fat as fuck.
All right, I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, no, it's embarrassing as hell to see. I'll call them out. 25th Infantry Division just posted something on their social media the other day. It was their division run, and guys are running by, and I counted like 9 in that 10-second segment of dudes that are on a 600-9 violation.
Right, can't pass tape.
Yeah. Or they are, or people are turning their head and looking away. The days of old of when you and I were in the service, and if you're fat, you have one opportunity to fix it. If not, you're out.
Yeah.
I think those are gone. We coddle these people too much, and allow them to do what they do. As soon as they get done with PT, they go to Burger King and have that garbage for breakfast.
Right.
There's this education of we got to teach these guys how to eat right, but that's always been there. The pyramid, which is now flipped, and I could go to each unit, and if they'd let me talk the way that I would want to teach this class,
Sure.
It's not hard. And our military is getting fat, and it seems, I think it's more of a mindset now, because of the coddling and allowing them to do what they do and not holding them accountable. So if there's anything that I want to talk about the military, it's these guys and their fitness and how important it is. We're the most lethal military out there, and we do more with less.
Yeah.
But physical fitness, it also looks good.
Yeah.
And when you see these guys stretching out these uniforms the way that they are,
Right.
or their PT belts are facing down as opposed to facing, I never wore a PT belt as a Green Beret, but I saw a lot of people that did, and they need to go back to the sachet type, because now some of these dudes are putting it around their waist and it's literally facing down towards the ground.
Yeah.
But it really is about education and getting these guys away from this garbage that they're putting into their body.
Now, where do you think that all changed, right? Because we just went through 20 years of combat,
Yeah.
right? And let's be reasonable, right? During combat, standards are a little bit more relaxed,
Yeah.
Due to the tempo and
Sure.
all the bullshit that goes along with that. But I've been sitting here trying to think, like, I can't even put my finger on a time. Like, when did that all flip? When we just said, you know what? It's okay. Just like, it's okay to
War.
be a little bit chubby.
We've been at war for the last 20 some odd years.
Right.
I think that's when it all started to change.
Yeah.
We just, we could talk about this for hours. It goes to, these guys, freaking out about war. Now we got to coddle and put their arms around them and tell them, well, it's going to be okay. You got to get back out there to that fob and do your job.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just kind of lowered the standard and didn't raise it back up.
Yeah.
And I still don't think that they have. They talk about the chows aren't bad. We'd go to the chow, and I love the chow. They've got a great salad bar. You can choose and pick what you want to eat. And, a lot of these guys, choose and pick the wrong shit.
Oh, man,
Too
yeah.
much of it.
So, for example, I was just recently at Camp Pendleton, and when I was at Pendleton, and it might have been 20 years ago,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter. If you go out the back gate towards Del Mar, it used to be in a wasteland.
Yeah.
There's nothing there,
Yeah.
right? You go out into Oceanside, and that's once you cross that gate into Oceanside, that's when you got the civilization.
Right.
Now, you go there, they've got every swinging dick freaking fast food restaurant
Yeah.
you can possibly believe
Yeah.
on post, and you're like, This
Yeah.
reminds me of an Army base.
Yeah.
This was not the Marine Corps I left,
Yeah.
right? And then that same story is repeated when you get further into like 22 area or the main side.
Yeah.
You got more fat and
Yeah.
and disgusting things that is allowing that Marine in this particular case, right, to say, you know what, I'm not going to go to the chow hall. I'm going to go spend my $8 on a 400 calorie hamburger.
Yeah, or more.
Yeah, or more, right?
Was it Carl's Jr. had that 1,400 calorie burger?
It was delicious.
Yeah,
but man,
but then they're not stopping at one.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is. But yes, these fast food joints on the military installations are crazy. We had, God, I don't even remember what the hell we had when I came on in the 90s. Chow hall fast food. That's all we had.
Yeah.
But now you can get it all. Yeah, it's horrible. I mean,
it's like when Burger King popped up at Liberty, Camp Liberty in Iraq. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
They go to breakfast and they eat garbage for breakfast.
Yeah.
They probably during PT burn about 300 to 400 calories, and then they go put on 1,000 at breakfast. They're just packing it in, and then they sit around and do nothing, and then they go to lunch and they're like, well, I want 2 burgers as opposed, you know what I mean? And
right.
and it all adds up. If they could just stick to 2,000, 2,400, depending on what they're doing, and it's not hard to write this up and Google your macros online and figure out how many you should have a day and then follow it. You'll be amazed at how fast the changes are going to happen, the results.
Yeah.
And in moderation, I'm not a big fan of alcohol anymore. Used to love it.
Same.
I mean, actually, I'm not going to lie. I just got drunk last week. But still. But it was after 12 weeks of sobriety. Right. I like to tell people I was sober. And then my cousin came to town, and that's how I injured my wrist. But it's all in moderation, and we all like to have fun, but it's getting out of hand. And I'm going to call out these retirees, especially my Green Beret brothers. What the hell, boys?
Yeah.
What camera's on? Is this camera on? Why are you getting so fat? And they are.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't care. They're like, I did my time. But we have statistically a higher death rate, percentage of dying when we retire than everybody else because we're running and gunning for so long. Yeah. This goes for all special operations. Just running and gunning. And then you come to the screeching halt and you sit on your ass and you eat the fucking nasty food and drink the alcohol. And yeah, I earned it. Well, you're earning a fucking quicker ticket to hell, you know, or heaven, wherever you think you're going.
Sure.
But it pisses me off. You can see I'm getting a little mad because it shouldn't be like that. And it's not hard. It's not hard at all. You don't have to take all the supplements at all. If you just clean up your diet and drink water and just stay away from the icky fast food shit or mom's, home cooked meals all the time, it's not hard, you know? So I call them out because it's absolutely pure laziness and they can't deny it.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple buddies I'm just like, bro, you can't be doing this. Like you're and in active duty, you're a force multiplier. And if you're out of shape and fat, well, I have a desk job. I'm S1. And that's the big thing now is like, well, like PT standards should be different and weight standards should be different depending on your job. Well, no, I've been taught, and it's still the same thing. Everybody's a shooter.
Yeah.
So if China were to invade, whatever situation, everybody's a shooter, and you have to be physically fit. And we're totally getting away from that, and it's from the top down. Because look at the leadership now. I'm not going to call out any General Millies or anything like that at all. It's disgusting to see that, and that's what people see. Well, if that general can walk around looking like a disgusting fat body,
right,
then why can't I?
Right.
Well, General Milley's doing it,
right,
or Admiral so-and-so is doing it.
Right.
Fuck.
Man, I'm
probably going to get in a lot of trouble. I'm going to get audited and all sorts of shit.
Hey, but this is cold hard facts, man. I'm not going to. If I was in a position of leadership and I had a flashy little insignia on my collar, I'm not going to field a platoon of fat bodies.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm not doing them any justice. They're just going to get whacked.
Yeah.
Right. And then what am I doing to the greater mission? I'm failing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it comes down to discipline. Like I think the biggest piece of this conversation here is the weight standards, all these other things that are happening in the military is because we've given up on discipline. Right. We've given up on being a little bit harder on individuals to maintain a standard. For whatever reasons, right, and I'm sure there's some valid reasons there.
Right.
I get it. I'm not oblivious to all that, but but I think what it comes down to is like the military exists for one thing, and it's not for developing personalities.
Right. Yeah.
Right. It's to close with, destroy, search, close with, and destroy the enemy by fire and maneuver.
Absolutely.
Right. That's what we exist for.
Yeah.
At least that's where the Marine Corps exists.
Yeah.
And and the cold hard facts of that is that it's not. You're gonna have to break a couple eggs to make this omelet.
Yeah.
Right.
No shit.
And we're in the business of killing, not anything else. But so I think we got a lot of work to do.
But it's not that hard though.
No.
I mean, like, call me, guys. I'll help you. I know you got all your professional shit, but they're failing, and it's discipline and leadership, and they need to start fixing themselves from the top down.
Yeah.
And into all of you that are going to email me and talk mad smack, because it happens often, like, well, you don't look like you're fucking shredded and shit. Well, being shredded doesn't mean you're physically fit.
Right.
You're aesthetically pleasing, and you're probably going to get laid taking your shirt off, because some chick's going to be like, oh, look at his abs. I don't give a shit. I've got a couple abs I can still see, but I'm 47, 48 in a month, and I'm doing pretty damn good for somebody my age after having 13 surgeries, been blown up a few times, almost dying in a free fall accident, and all that other garbage that I did for 21 years in the military. And it's not hard. It just takes discipline, and not even a lot of discipline. So
right, that one moment you say, I'm not going to go to the gym today. Well, why?
Yeah, right.
Why?
But you know what? If you're not going to go to the gym, go walk for 10 minutes.
Right.
Just walk for 10 minutes. You would be so amazed at like 10,000 steps a day would do for weight loss, and just a little added, calorie burn that help. But also you got to lift weights. You got all these people that are like, well, I got to do a lot of cardio. Bullshit. I do about 20 minutes of light cardio and then lift weights. You build muscle, eat protein. Protein digests slower, so it actually increases metabolism to help you burn fat. Yeah. All of it, eat meat, eat protein, lift heavy weights, and you're going to see some shape shifting. Within 2 weeks, you're going to be like, damn, shit's looking good. Yeah. And then you're going to get addicted to it. And, back in the day, we did do too much running. And I don't know about the Marines. I would imagine it was the same. Push-ups, sit-ups, run.
Yes.
But even then, people feared the PT test, which was a joke.
Right.
Push-ups, sit-ups, run 2 miles. They feared it. Why? You should be a stellar performer. You ought to be at the gym. If you don't think what you're getting in PT in the morning is enough, get your ass to the gym and start lifting. The PT test now is, I can't really speak on it, but it's changed a lot. But I like it from what I've seen.
Yeah. The combat fitness test was unique, right?
Yeah.
And I have a son who's 18 years old now. And he's in the Navy, but he's telling me all these things. He's like, Dad, these people are so fat and disgusting. They don't do anything. They don't even want to be here.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
I went to Coronado last month. And I lived in Coronado just for a little bit, and I went to North Island, and I was driving through the gate. All four, 2 civilians, or 1 civilian and 3 Navy dudes, all fat. One had a beard. I was like, when did we start allowing beards? And it wasn't even trimmed beard. It was all scraggly. It looked like you could lose some shit up in there. I'm serious. Like, you had snacks in there. And I was just like, what? My wife was like, what the hell's going on? Look at this. Like, even 2 years ago when we lived here, it didn't look like this.
Yeah.
And there's just this explosion of private piles, disgusting fat bodies.
Absolutely. So
But I still love my military. I just want y'all to know that.
Right. Yeah. This is that hard love, right?
Yeah.
We have the ability to talk shit because we're veterans and we've already done it.
Yeah, we've done it. We see it from the outside. Right, I had that conversation today.
Now, if you're sitting across from me and you're like, spent 20 years, building infrastructure on IT networks, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, right. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But we don't. We're coming from a position of experience.
Yeah.
And with that experience, you built a whole product line.
Absolutely.
To understand or at least come with a solution.
Yeah.
To some of the situations that are happening, from performance and supplements to detoxing.
Yep.
Getting heavy chemicals out of your body. Tell us, what was the mindset of why you were coming up with these items? More specifically, like the detoxification products and the gut products.
Yeah.
Why focus there when the entire market is doing A?
Well, because you don't need supplements to be physically fit. They help, but you don't need them. But so we're and we've got those products still, for those that need them, because we tried doing away with something like, hey, you got to bring it back. I want it. So we brought, a lot of the products like that back. But health and wellness is really our jam, because we do believe in just overall total body health and wellness. You don't have to be a bodybuilder and all that, But our veterans also need help. And how can we make this greens drink better? ODA Super Greens is our greens drink. Well, let's look into how we can help reduce heavy metals out of the body. All natural ingredients, broken cell wall chlorella, spirulina, cilantro, and a laundry list of other wonderful natural ingredients, to include a shroom tech blend in ours for brain health. But they help to congeal and expel heavy metals out of the body. And we have on our website, you'll see that this Marine MARSOC guy did our test for us, one of them, and we just liked his numbers best, so that's why we have it up there. But his lead levels went from 17 to 7, antimony from 0.9 to 0.1. Significant changes in other ones as well that you can see. And we loved that. We presented to the Special Warfare Center in schools, the nutritionists there. They loved it, and they're like, hell yeah, our guys could definitely use this. And it's nice. I mean, it doesn't really help with sales, but it just allows their nutritionists to be able to tell their guys or other nutritionists at all the groups, hey, this is a good product. Yeah. It's not garbage. Same with our sleep aid. REM sleep is really important. REM sleep, along with health and fitness, all these guys who are eating like garbage, it affects sleep at night. And sleep is where healing happens. REM is where healing happens. And so we came up with GBNT sleep, Green Beret nap time. We always have that, I'm going to go take a siesta, a little GBNT. So I threw it on the label, and people liked it. I was going to change it up, but threw it on the label. And we toyed around with the formula. And there's no grogginess when you wake up, but it'll get you to REM sleep. Just had a lady last night try it for the first time, made a post, said, I'll let you know what I did in the morning. I sleep 4 hours a night. Yeah. She doubled her sleep in the first night, and she was ecstatic. Wow. And it doesn't work for everybody. Some of us who have, had the head injuries, and I mean, some people, nothing works for them, and I hate that for them. Yeah. But it's better than taking Adderall, Ambien, and we had people that were taking NyQuil every day to sleep. And so if we can help them get off that by utilizing natural ingredients that synergistically work together to get you to REM sleep and to help your brain heal and to help you get sleep, weight loss happens in REM sleep. Yeah. We did it. We made GBNT sleep, and it's phenomenal. And it's one of our best-selling products. It beats out our thermogenic weight loss aid. Yeah. So most people call those fat burners. No such thing as a fat burner. There is a weight loss aid. Yeah. So, and we like to make sure that people know that like our thermogenic fat burner weight loss aid, you have to get off your ass and do something. Yeah. Be in a caloric deficit, eat clean, work out. It will increase your metabolism. It will make you sweat like a racehorse after the Kentucky Derby. And those help. They aid you in weight loss. And I take it daily, actually. Not daily, but usually when I work out, because I like to sweat. Yeah. And it also kind of helps that layer of water weight. But also drinking water helps flush out a lot of the toxins and bad things that help you lose weight. Yeah. So it's really about health and wellness for us. Rally and Recover is our oral rehydration salt. Ours is a little different. What makes ours so different? Why is it better than liquid IV and all that other stuff? Well, we use an ingredient that increases absorption and also a prebiotic, so good gut health. Yeah. So we're all about the good gut health and helping the body out.
Why? Like, well, let me preface a little bit, especially within our community. Why do you believe that gut health is so important?
I mean, just cleaning your body, because it helps with getting toxins out of your body. And toxins are the things that sit in your body and destroy it slowly from the inside out. Right. So why not just help them get it out? Pooping is wonderful. So we're also working on a product that...
A poop aid.
Yeah, it is. It is. There's a great one out there already, but we like to see those products and be like, well, how can we make that better?
Right. What kind of Green Beret name are you going to give that one?
What's that?
What kind of Green Beret name are you going to give that one?
I don't want to say it because I'll say it.
Steal it.
Gut check.
The gut check.
Gut check.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
And I'm on that same path. In the terms of why I think it's important, especially within our cohort and our community of veterans. Yeah. Is, a lot of us combat guys still suffer from severe anxiety, right?
Yeah.
And things of that nature. And essentially what you're getting there is you're getting that big chemical release, and it's all dumping in your stomach, which is creating IBS and a lot of these Crohn's and all these different medical situations for the veteran community. Yeah. And and a lot of it is because we're not taking good care of ourselves in the things that we're consuming. We talked a little bit about that previously, and putting focus in that, understanding that our bodies are reacting to the environments that we're in, and if we are on that scale of we for some that experience a little bit more anxiety than others, those people should be putting a little bit more focus into their gut health because it's having an impact on their body.
Absolutely.
And how it regulates.
And on the front of both of the GB&T and our greens, it says reduce anxiety. Because good gut health helps you reduce anxiety, and it's true. And we have a lot of people that tell us in our reviews, like, I love this stuff, it works. And there are other good products out there. We just like to think that ours is better. So,
because I like you, I like to poop, but I don't like to poop 8 times a day.
8 times, or you do or you don't?
I do.
Oh,
right. In those anxiety moments.
Right. Yeah. No, I was one of those kids that would get nervous and have to go take a deuce, and it was amazing how it would liquefy under anxiety.
Yeah. Right.
Like, what the hell? It was normal an hour ago. But no, it's pooping's important. It really is, and cleaning out your gut is important, and just overall health and wellness is extremely important, and that's the angle that we're taking. And I will say that my wife has had a lot to do with that, because she is, she's the professional in all this. I just am the idea guy and tell the stories and I'm the face, and she's the smart one. And she says, well, how about we do this? And like organic grass-fed protein, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's a really good protein, and it tastes amazing. We and all of our stuff tastes good. We don't want anything that tastes like garbage. But yeah, I mean, even our protein is organic, grass-fed. We're not going to do some of these other ones that are just mass-produced, for large volume and lower discounts or lower prices. So, but we're all about it. Essential amino acids, we have one of those, an EAA. Definitely need those. They help boost your immune system. Our Alpha Immune, we partner with Dr. Katarina Lindley out of Dallas, and it's 8 natural ingredients that help your body protect itself. I'll just the C word. Can I say COVID on here? It's like worse than cussing. I mean, seriously. So she came up with that and said, there's not in one particular product out there together all those ingredients. You need to do it, Travis. I don't want anything from it. And she's a phenomenal woman. And so we work together on that. And now we have Alpha Immune to help protect your body from a lot of the bullcrap that's out there. And I would like to say that I've only had COVID once, and I know people that have gotten the old, and they've had it like 3 and 4 times.
Yeah, sure.
So
sure, it's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
It is crazy. It's amazing what your body will do in protecting itself if it's healthy.
Right.
It's crazy. Right. Crazy. God, I'm talking lies.
Now, if I was a listener and I've been so motivated by what I've been listening to,
or pissed off,
right? That I want to do something to get on the path and start changing my physique, my health, the way that I eat, the way that I go about my life, and I want to get on that path of alpha, right?
Yeah.
Where do they start?
I think was it General McChrystal? Did he go to UT? Was he the one, the Navy Admiral, or no? Not
yes,
McChrystal. Was it?
McChrystal was the admiral.
I can't remember. Anyway, it was. The first thing you do in the morning is you get up and you make your bed.
Yeah.
I started doing that. And I'm telling you, I get pissed if I forget to make my bed, I'll run back in the house to make my bed, which doesn't happen often. But then from there, it's just, if you're a dick every day, just stop being a dick and you can just start taking notes. Take notes about yourself. Journal. I haven't journaled, but I know a lot of people that do, and it works for them. Yeah. But that's really, it's just about self-love and becoming an alpha male, alpha female, but also, something we didn't talk about though, but like protection. Yeah. Get in there and do some Krav Maga or, jiu-jitsu, things like that. It goes along with being an alpha. You never know when you're going to have to protect somebody. If you're not a gun person, or if you are, but you haven't taken a gun class or a concealed carry class or self-protection class, go take those classes, and learn to protect yourself that way as well. We live in a crazy world. Mm-hmm. But health, and wellness is just one aspect of becoming an alpha and just the alpha mindset and doing good things for others. Just start doing good for yourself. It's not hard. I don't know how to explain it anymore. It's not hard to fix yourself.
I think, I love what you said there. Is like, you can't start helping other people until you've helped yourself.
Absolutely.
Right? And,
Absolutely.
You can't love other people until you love yourself.
Right.
You can go down this path.
Man, you know what? I have been married 2 other times before my wife now. And sadly, I'm not saying that those were the experiments, but, I hate that my career kind of led me. I was more focused in selfish ways that I didn't really want to correct that course. But it took that accident, and it took significant changes in my life to make me realize, like, I'm a dick, you know. And then the man upstairs like dropped my wife in front of me. She had no idea about the military. Said she was never going to date a military guy. But I just changed who I was, and she was like, "Oh, military guys aren't that bad."
Yeah.
And it has been butter since. We have had a argument.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful, and it is about correcting yourself, course correction, finding your, there's all sorts of cliche things to say, like finding your true north, and
Yeah.
I just said I was going to stop being a dick. I was going to get healthy. I want to stay in the teams, and then I'm going to give back, and so we've started doing that as well. But yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the big give back efforts that you're involved in.
AEP Outdoors. We started a nonprofit. We got to the point in our career, in our business, that we could start giving back. And I went on a hunt one time and saw what fellowship does for our veterans, and I thought it was beautiful. I was watching these guys who were experiencing things that I feel like I had already passed, but was there to offer whatever I could. But and it was great that they were able to talk about things that they couldn't talk about around civilians or their spouses. And that was beautiful to me. And that's a gap within all the great nonprofits that are out there that needs to be filled. And I was like, well, I have a means, and I love to hunt and fish, so why not start AEP Outdoors? And we did just that. We take guys on outdoor, and gals, on outdoor adrenaline adventure and fellowship type. And when I say fellowship, I don't mean church. If it goes that direction, fine. But just fellowship, just bonding, brotherhood, sisterhood type experiences, and it's gorgeous. So we do a heli hog hunt every month, which really just invokes the primal,
right.
Those door gunners and those turret gunners and just any combat arms and West guy. That's what we did for 20 years. They get to be in an open door, no door helicopter, 4-seater, and just plunking away.
Lay it out.
Having a good time. We did Cabo. 11 soft veterans down to Cabo was our very first event. And then our big one coming up is Namibia Africa hunt. And we have Andy Broom, who she was one of the first women recruited into CAG, Delta Force. Yeah, wonderful. And she had a free fall accident as well. So we're kind of like sister, brother. And she is the recipient of our big 20,000 8-animal hunt, where she's going to get to go to Namibia and hunt animals, and we'll be out there with her. So we're raising money for that. We have the means to give back, but it takes a lot more than what we can do. So, but within those types of events that we're doing, there's, in the future, I wanted stem cells. I'm a huge fan of stem cell therapy, huge fan of exos, because I had done both of those, stem cells. I went to exos for rehabilitation. You get to work alongside professional athletes and rehabilitate your body.
Yeah.
So eventually we want to just, and 100% of what we raise goes back to the experience and to the veteran themselves. We don't keep anything from that. So it's but it's a lot of fun, and that's our way of giving back. As a veteran, I get to see our military from the outside now, looking in, and I love you guys. I'm hard on you because I know how you're not being taken care of. We were there. Yep. It was a little different for us back in those days, and we've seen the change, the shift, the shape shift from warfighter to, God, I don't even know what the hell to call it now.
Garrison life, man.
Yeah.
You're killing those, you're doing a lot of killing the bacteria.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just about giving back now. It is my continued service. It's what I knew, and it's what I know now, and I love it. And that's where we're at, man. Yeah. Just all about our veteran community. And if my story can help, there's more to it. If I can help, then I hope it helps.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great story, Travis. From your time in military service to 6 deployments that you've done throughout the world, and your time as a Green Beret. I have a lot of Green Beret friends, so it's always fun hearing about those exploitations.
Yeah.
And, it's you guys do some incredible work, and man, my hat's off to you because I'm not about that lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, Marines make some of the best Green Berets.
That's what I keep hearing.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've met more.
It's because we know we understand pain and punishment.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and you're smart. Everybody thinks you are a bunch of crayon eaters, but every Marine that I've met that became a Green Beret was smart as shit.
Oh yeah, that's the secret of the Marine Corps.
Yeah,
like,
it's
they don't
definitely.
want to tell people about it.
Let's not ruin it.
Right on, right on. Well, Travis, it's been a pleasure talking with you today and learning more about Alpha Leader Performance, Alpha AAP Outdoors, and what you're doing for our veteran community.
Absolutely.
And the continued give back services that we find ourselves doing these days. And if you want to learn more about AAP, where can they find you?
You can go to alphaeliteperformance.com. That's for a supplement nutrition company, and the nonprofit is aepoutdoors.com. And I have to throw in a plug for it because I started an ammo company too. I'm always into something. But mutantmunition.com. Yeah, so I dabble in ammo as well, and we.
What kind of ammo are we talking about here?
5.56, 9. What do you want? What do you want? 40 millimeter, Mike?
I want a 143, but 6.5 Creedmoor.
We'll get it. We can do it. We have our own line coming out, but this community of veterans is it was stupid not to get involved in the ammo industry just because of the veteran community and the connections and. And I like to hunt, and so why not start an ammo company?
Yeah.
That's
it. That's it.
But alphaeliteperformance.com, aepoutdoors.com, mutantmunition.com.
All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's Travis Wilson with AEP. Incredible individual, incredible service member, continuing to do great things for our community. And we challenge all of you at home that are watching to get up, get involved, become something that's bigger than yourself, and give back to your community. Find ways of doing that. Until then, we'll see you next time. Wash your stinking hands. Be kind to one another, and we'll see you soon.